Hi students, very good morning. Yesterday we were dealing with respect to Faraday's first law of electrolysis. Okay, what does that say? There is the amount of the substance which is directly proportional to the amount of electricity you are passing into that substance. If you remove the proportionality, you will be getting M is equal to Z into Q. If Q is equal to 1 Faraday, means if you take Q is equal to 1, then what happens? The amount of the substance, whatever that has been deposited, it will be equal to electrochemical equivalent. This is what the second law says. Okay, let us go for the second law. See, what does it say? This law says that if same amount of electric charge is passed through different electrolytes, means you take different electrolytes. One is zinc sulfate, one is copper sulfate, one is magnesium sulfate, anything. You take in different containers. If same amount of electric charge is passed through different electrolytes, means you are passing same amount of the Q, then the amount of the substance deposited will be directly proportional to the equivalent weight. That is what it is said. See, if Q is same, what is the amount of the substance? Whatever the amount of the substance passed will be equal to the equivalent weight. That is what the second law. So I am taking a container with the zinc sulfate solution, another container with copper sulfate solution. You are having two electrodes here and two electrodes here. These are having a series connection. These two electrodes are connected and these two electrodes are connected, having a battery. Now you are passing charge. Okay, from this battery. If you switch on charge, the battery current passes into that. So what happens? Same amount of charge will be transferred into this container as well as this container. Okay, I is same, current passed is same, the time is same. So what will be? Q will be same. Right, so amount of the zinc that has been deposited will be equal to Z into Q. Here amount of copper deposited will be equal to Z into Q. Clear? As you are passing same current, what happens? Q will be same. And here M is equal to Z is nothing but equivalent weight of zinc by Faraday. Here equivalent weight of copper by Faraday. So same amount of charge. If you get 2 Faraday here, you will be getting 2 Faraday here also. Because same charge you are passing, right? So what happens? M is directly proportional to E. So M zinc by M copper will be equivalent to equivalent weight of zinc by equivalent weight of copper. In the same way, if you take anything, suppose there is one more thing like this here, it is connected with magnesium sulfate. What happens? M of zinc is to M of copper is to M of magnesium will be equal to equivalent weight of zinc is to equivalent weight of copper is to equivalent weight of what? Magnesium. You will be getting in that pattern. So this is what the second law says. If the same amount of electric charge is passed through different electrolytes, the amount of the substance that is getting deposited or liberated is directly proportional to its equivalent weight. This is the second law. This continuation of the first law only. In first law you will be having M is equal to Z into Q. If you make Q as the common one, so M will equal to Z. Z is nothing but equivalent factor, right? Right. So based on that, you solve one problem. Same electrical charge is passed through aqueous solution of HCl and copper sulfate. Okay, this is the question. 12 grams of H2 is liberated. Find the mass of copper deposited. Okay, you take the mass of hydrogen by mass of copper will be equal to equivalent weight of HCl by equivalent weight of copper. Then you will be getting the answer. Okay, students? Right. Let us take some difference between the conductance. You know that electrolytic conductance we are studying. Suppose if you compare the electrolytic conductor with respect to metallic conductor. Okay. Metallic conductor means suppose in your houses you will be having copper wire, right? In that what happens? In that electrolyte is not present. In that only metal is present. Copper metal is present. Through that metal electrons flowing is being done and the current conduction occurs. Okay. In that metallic conductor, in our houses generally metals will be there. In metallic conductor, current flows due to flow of electrons. This is clear. In our houses, whatever the metals we are using for the passage of electricity, there will be only the motion of electrons. If you go for the electrolytic conductor, okay, means taking a vessel having two electrodes and you are providing some amount of electricity. What happens? In this current flow is due to flow of ions. If more the ions are moving, more will be the production of the current. So first itself we have learned in electronic conductors. So we have taken something like a voltaic cell, right? There in voltaic cell as well as Daniell cell due to the motion of the ions. Or in simply we can take that is something like electronic conductance. Don't go for that. Take electrolytic only. Electrolytic means how many the motion of the ions will be. Means each ion carries some amount of charge, right? Suppose you are taking a vessel. In that you are taking electrolyte, you are taking rods and you are providing some amount of current. Okay. From one electrode to other electrode, there should be connection of current so that it forms a circuit, right? Complete one. In that the motion is due to what? the motion is due to the movement of ions, not due to the movement of electrons. In the voltaic cell or Daniell cell, the conduction is due to the flow of electrons there. Okay, from one circuit to other circuit will be having middle salt bridge. In electrolytic conductors, it is due to the flow of ions. So this is the difference. In metallic conductor, current is due to flow of electrons. In electrolytic conductors, the conduction is due to the flow of ions. Here in metallic conductors, no chemical decomposition, means the copper will not get dissociated as copper plus 2 or something. Means if you take copper sulfate, it gets dissociated as cation as well as anion. In terms of the electrolytic, means the entire substance whatever you are taking, it is getting dissociated into ions, cation as well as anion. But in terms of metallic conductor, there is no decomposition of the substance whatever you are taking on passing the current. If you pass the current, there will be no decomposition of the substance, right? Here, whatever the resistance is present in the metallic conductor, it is due to the collisions of the kernels. Kernels means those are the substances in physics. Inner orbit and nucleus together is called as kernel, right? If one electron moves from one atom to the other atom, okay, so there is movement of electrons, right? If electron moves from one atom to another atom, what happens? Collision between the molecules occurs. Here, resistance is due to the interactions. So there will be solute as well as the solvent. Between solute resistance will be, okay, between solvent will be, between solvent and solvent will be. Solvent it is called as viscous force, solvent it is called as hydration resistance, and solute. Okay. Here resistance is due to only the opposite atoms. Here resistance is due to the solute particles as well as the solvent particles. Resistance increases on increasing temperature. If you increase the temperature, what happens? The collisions of number of molecules will be increasing so that the electron will not easily move. But if you increase the temperature in terms of electrolytic conductance, if you increase the temperature, the resistance will decrease so that the conduction will be more. Okay, if you increase the temperature, more the number of ions will be produced. More the number of ions is produced, more the amount of current carried by the ions. So that these are the basic differences between the metallic conductor. Metallic conductor not at all important. This one we will be learning with respect to physics. And going for the electrolytic conductor, that is what we are learning. Amount of the substance whatever deposited at the cathode or anode. In that whatever the terms are there, means whatever the conduction is there. Okay, current conduction, that one we are learning. So electrolytic conductor, current is flow due to flow of the ions. Chemical decomposition of the substance will occur. Chemical decomposition of the substance will occur in the electrolytic conductor, and resistance in this electrolytic conductors is due to solute interaction, solute-solvent interaction, and solvent-solvent interaction. On increasing the temperature in electrolytic conductor, what happens? The resistance decreases so that the conductance goes on increasing. Let us take some examples, some terms with respect to current. General terms related to the electrolytic conductance. Now we are learning with respect to the electrolytic conductance, right? The terms that you should know. So resistance, it is represented with R. Resistance, it is indicated with R, and the unit of resistance is ohm, and ohm is indicated with this symbol. Okay. Conductance is inversely proportional to the resistance. Okay. Less the resistance, more the conductance. These are the terms in current. So unit is ohm inverse or mho or Simon. Okay. Resistance is R, conductance is C, and C is inversely proportional to the resistance. So the conductance unit is ohm inverse or mho or Simon. Next, specific resistance, or it is also called as resistivity. Parallelly, you remember two terms: resistance, conductance. Resistivity, conductivity. Okay. Resistance with respect to wires. Conductivity, resistance with respect to wires, and resistivity with respect to solutions. Conductance with respect to wires, conductivity with respect to solutions, and specific resistance, specific conductivity. So resistance it is indicated with rho L by A. This is called as rho, or rho is called as resistivity, L is length, A is the area. Getting me? Specific resistance or resistivity is indicated with rho. Basically, the formula of resistance is R is equal to rho L by A, or rho is resistivity, L is length of the wire, and A is the area of cross section. If you subject rho, what happens? If you send A as well as L to the other side, RA by L, resistance is ohm, A is centimeter square by meter square by meter, meter will be cancelled, so that you will be getting ohm meters. If you take in terms of centimeters, you will be getting ohm centimeter. Okay. And if you talk A and L, so with respect to this one, specific resistance, we are talking length and area, right? So now you are taking with respect to electrode. You are taking electrode, they are separated by a distance L, and this is the area. Okay. If you join these two, this line with this one and this one with upper one, this is the bottom one, you will be getting the area. So this thickness, this one here to here, it is called as area of the electrode, and the distance between the electrode is called as L. Okay. And there is a special term called as cell constant. Cell constant is indicated with L by A. L is centimeter, A is centimeter square, so you will be getting unit as centimeter inverse for a given cell. Cell constant is equal to L by A. Okay. If different areas of electrodes are there taken, common area, 10, 18, then take the smallest one. If you are taking this one, both will be having same area. If different areas of the electrodes are, if this is of 10 centimeters and this is of 8 centimeters, then what you should take? Whatever is the smallest one, you will be taking that into the consideration. Okay. Example is if 10 centimeters as well as 8 centimeters. This one is 10 centimeters, this one is 8 centimeters area is there. So what you will be taking? Commonly you will be taking here area as 8 only. Okay. Right. So A and L, A is nothing but area and L is nothing but the distance between the two electrodes. Resistivity is nothing but rho is equal to RA by L. If A is equal to 1 centimeter square, L is equal to 1 centimeter, then resistivity will be equal to resistant. So resistivity is nothing but it is resistance only. It is offered by all the ions of the electrolyte present in 1 ml. See, area is 1 centimeter square and length is 1. So what you will be getting? Volume 1 centimeter square into 1, you will be getting 1 cubic centimeter. 1 cubic centimeter is nothing but 1 ml. So if I take this area is 1 centimeter square, this is 1 centimeter square, and distance separated by between these two electrodes. Suppose this is one electrode and this is other electrode. This one I am writing 1 centimeter, this one 1 centimeter. So what you will be getting area? 1 centimeter square you will be getting the area. Here also 1 centimeter square. And the distance separated between this is 1 centimeter. So area here 1 centimeter, here 1 centimeter. So that area here 1 centimeter square, here you will be getting 1 centimeter square. And the distance between the two electrodes is 1 centimeter. Okay, what happens? Length into breadth into height, you will be getting the volume. Okay. So volume is 1 cubic centimeter, that is nothing but 1 ml. That is what he is saying. So resistivity is nothing but it is the resistance. It is resistance offered by what? All the ions of the electrolyte present in this 1 ml solution. How many ions are there? How much resistance they are producing? That is called as resistivity. Okay, in this 1 ml, how many ions are there? How much resistance they are producing? Okay, resistance produced by the ions present in 1 ml of the solution is called as resistivity. So resistance is the resistance offered by all ions of that electrolyte present in 1 ml solution. So unit is equal to ohm centimeter square by centimeter, so ohm centimeter. Getting me? So this is the important term you should remember. Highly important, resistivity. Resistivity is nothing but resistance offered by all the ions of the electrolyte present in 1 ml of the solution. In 1 ml of the solution, how much resistance offered by that particular solution, it is called as resistivity. And one more term that is called as conductivity. Okay, conductivity is nothing but inverse to resistivity. So you know that rho is equal to RA by L, so that L goes into the numerator, you will be getting L by RA. You can write it as 1 by R into L by A. 1 by R you know that it is conductance, and L by A you know that cell constant. Again I am repeating, conductivity or specific conductance, it is called as K is equal to 1 by rho. Rho is nothing but RA by L, so that you will be getting L by RA, 1 by R into L by A. 1 by R is equal to conductance, L by A is equal to cell constant. So this is the relation. What is mean by K? Okay, what is mean by K? So it is the conductance in 1 ml of the solution. What is this resistivity? It is the resistance in 1 ml of the solution. Clear? This is the conductance and this is the resistance in 1 ml of the solution. So what you can write? Specific conductance or conductivity will be equal to conductance into cell constant. So K is equal to conductance into cell constant. Right? See, simply we can say that conductance is due to Conductance due to all ions present in 1 ml of the electrolytic solution is called as conductivity. Resistance due to all ions present in 1 ml of the electrolytic solution is called as resistivity. Clear? So this one is nothing but conductance in per ml. If you divide by ml, you will be getting conductance for ml only, right? So for any volume, you can write it as conductance will be equal to K into volume. Okay? For any conductance, the value is equal to K into volume. For 1 ml, it is by volume. Conductance by 1 ml, if you do, you will be getting per ml. That is nothing but conductivity, right? And units are ohms inverse, centimeter inverse, or mho centimeter inverse, or Simon centimeter inverse, right? So we have learned those terms. So ions present in 1 cubic centimeter of the electrolytic solution depends upon the concentration. How many ions are present? Okay. And the next term is molar conductivity. It is nothing but conductance due to all ions of that volume of the electrolyte which contains 1 mole of electrolyte. Okay, you take it as 1 mole. 1 mole electrolyte is present. Then you will be having some conductance, right? That conductance, you don't know the volume. What volume is present? The conductance due to ions you are getting from 1 mole of the solute. Okay? It is the conductance due to all ions of that volume of electrolyte which contains 1 mole of electrolyte. You are taking 1 mole of electrolyte. Whatever the conductance is present, that is called as molar conductivity. So it can be represented in a reverse. Delta M is equal to K into volume. So means which contains 1 mole of electrolyte, and volume you can write it as, see, M is equal to N by V liter, and you can write it as M is equal to 1 by V. N is 1 mole, right? So M will be equal to 1 by V, volume is equal to 1 by M. So volume, if you want in ml, volume into 1000. This is cubic centimeter. So volume in liter is nothing but 1 by M. So 1 by M into 1000. So this one, if you substitute here in place of volume, so you'll be getting 1000 by M. So molar conductivity is indicated in this delta M reverse. K is equal K into volume, and volume can be written as 1000 by molarity. And if you go for the equivalent conductivity, it is nothing but same. Conductance due to all the ions present in that volume of the solution which contains 1 gram equivalent of electrolyte. Here 1 mole of electrolyte in molarity. Here 1 gram equivalent of electrolyte in equivalent conductivity. It is represented in the same way. This is equivalent conductivity is equal to K into volume. So equivalent conductivity is equal to K into 1000 by N. So students, this is what for today. So you can see here N is equal to number of gram equivalent by volume. If the number of gram equivalence is 1, so N is equal to 1 by volume in liters. Volume in ml is equal to 1000 by N. So if you substitute this value here, so equivalent conductivity will be equal to K into 1000 by N. So students, this is for today. Once you solve the problems, whatever that are present in your book, have a nice day. Bye bye.